sit wherever you would like to. Going. And I know, so I got a call from Abdo just before the meeting. He has thrown out his back or something. He can't walk today. It's been a couple days, so he's going to the doctor tomorrow. So he apologized. I believe Simon said he was gonna be in London, right? Didn't he say that?
Oh, I think
Last
you're right,
month,
that's right.
last month, and Karen is on her way back.
On my way back.
Gets back
from
Friday.
London.
Yeah, like she's not gonna come
Right.
to this meeting.
Yeah. So we have
we're good.
everybody,
We got everybody
we have
is
everyone
in town.
expected, and
She walked in, she would have been up 20 hours already.
it's 7:03, so we'll go ahead and get started.
I want to applaud everybody for coming in person. I think it makes a big difference and it's really nice when you can do it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, I'm zoomed in, but when you can come in person, it's great. Alrighty, so
Did everybody get a copy of the minutes? I
Yep.
did email them around and there's some hard copies here. Take a look, see if you have any comments, concerns, questions, corrections, etc.
I didn't, but I wasn't there, so I felt like I wasn't sure if I was even supposed to speak to it.
Well, if I misspelled something and you see it, please
Well,
let me know.
misspellings I can spot, whether I was at the meeting or not.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't think I've met you.
Oh, Tracy.
Yeah, that's right, Chris.
It's last week, right?
Oh,
Or
we
maybe-
last time,
Well-
also he was a voice. He was like Charlie's Angels last time.
Yeah. So,
It's usually Kent or I that come, but we actually get to both here because the dean's on a field trip.
Right.
Like the best weekend.
The parents are running away.
Yeah.
They stay a little longer.
Exactly, that's,
Next year they'll be gone for.
So-
Yeah.
let's quick do the minutes, and then I'll give it an update. We'll introduce Chris. Any, no comments? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Fran. Do I have a second?
Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Oh, okay, anybody against? I'm just gonna take the silence as all in favor. Okay, so I just wanna let everybody know, so Chris, you weren't here last time, but Chris has agreed to join the council, which is fantastic.
It's all about
And-
the pay.
I know, right? All the good jobs. Yeah.
Loaded that in front of you. Couldn't say no.
Couldn't say no. And you were officially appointed by the selectmen at 5:30 this evening.
Oh, wow.
So you are
So
official.
technically, this is the first official meeting.
The first
Even
official,
if
he
you should
visited, you know,
I
he's there.
sent them a bio with 3 sentences.
It works, you know, it's not like we have people usually beating down the door, so. That is wonderful. And speaking of introducing, I'm just gonna say, I made up some name tags. Not necessarily to wear at our meeting, but
Events.
at events, and we have
Especially
restaurant week coming up.
Yeah.
So,
What coming up?
restaurant week,
That's not
Week, congrats on getting that launched.
I know.
and we have.
Moved already to our media.
Throw that down to Tracy, who.
For, for our event, so we already connected that, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we'll talk, it's on the agenda, so we'll talk more, but I figured while we're.
But Chris is executive director of the, I'm always get it wrong.
Institute.
Of American Indian Studies. My children have practiced me on it and.
Because when I was a
can't
kid,
say
I stuttered because when I was a kid, it was the
It was
Indian Honor
different.
Theological Institute.
Yes.
So.
Actually, it's a much better name. They killed it in 1992 because the guy that was running it for those 5 years was stupid.
Okay.
I like that response.
That's a good reason.
Good truth.
The other reason,
He was stupid.
We were done.
We are being
I have
recorded.
other evidence of that.
I know, right? I mean, yes, but maybe.
We've had this call before, just, we are being recorded.
Yes, this is a public meeting
And the video is posted publicly.
and it is posted
I'll
publicly.
go on if you want.
We have had to remind everyone a few times, although we're getting better at that, definitely. So we have a lot on the agenda tonight, so I think we should just kind of move
I
on
mean,
through.
But Chris hasn't met any of us, so I mean,
Oh,
so,
I suppose that's true, we.
For a couple of decades.
okay.
1.5.
So, Kent and Tracy.
Sorara?
Yeah, we're just 3 years in our third year here, and, became when Kent got the position of Director of Theater Arts at the Frederick Gunn School.
I know that place.
And I teach at,
You've done that
University-
for
yeah.
decades.
I teach at University of Rhode Island.
That's a trip.
And and we formed a nonprofit this past year. So we are officially not making money, nonprofit.
Connecticut
Specialize
Theater
in that too.
Exchange,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which has benefits and is having one in 2 weeks on the 21st. So
We have a reading of Dorothy Lyman sharing her one-person play called Violet and Me, a monologue. And so, yeah, a fundraiser on April 21st. And we're in residence up at the Frederick Gunn School for about 2 weeks in the summer for programming and then some off
So you have a
season.
big camp sign you put up there.
For the Litchfield Jazz Camp, you mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, so.
They have that.
Yeah.
We don't have.
Oh,
that
that's
side.
not, okay.
That's
we're not
not
the
us,
children's
no,
camp.
that's, we're,
I heard the word camp and I jumped to a conclusion.
yeah, no, so, yeah, we're up there in residence, and it's a Connecticut Theater Exchanges for adults and for professional theater makers coming in, working on new plays and new skills. So we'll tell you more about it, but yeah, so.
Cool. I
And
mean,
know-
you guys are brand new, but you've already had several events. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're excited. It's good. We just made our little Connecticut Gives video today too.
Finally
Oh,
got
for
that.
Give
to get
Local.
local.
Give local, sorry.
That
Thank you.
was, that, yeah, that ended
Good.
up a lot more surprising effort than we originally thought, but they're,
It'll be so easy, yeah.
but they were so helpful, just because.
Mine's not done yet, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you're.
So just a little FYI, make sure in your bio, or when you're getting registered online with them, that you make sure that you have Washington, Connecticut. I mean, you have to have your address, but put Washington in because many people will just go on
And
and
give like
search
$10.
search Washington and just see what's going, so that it might be their first introduction to you.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so-
make sure it's in the text so that they.
Yeah, so they can keyword search it. We were looking, it's
Okay.
unfortunate, like that people forget stuff, ones that are established in New Preston, Marbledale. And sometimes if it's at Washington Green, it'll come up different. Just search yourself. And if you
yeah.
type in Washington and you don't come up, then go back in and re-enter something.
Okay,
Because that,
Good to
a
know.
lot of people do that and they'll just,
Good
like
to
you said,
know.
go down the line and just kind of give to almost everything.
It's great.
That's.
They can put New Preston
No, you shouldn't. I'm sorry, you shouldn't put in Preston.
Yeah.
People,
Not as, yeah.
No, people don't know, yeah.
some people will search it, and if that's really where you're located, do New Preston / Washington or something.
in. No, I've lived in New Preston more time than I've lived in Washington, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of Washington,
I
so
know,
I
I
would,
know.
even though it's got its own zip code, so people will search Washington, so I would put that in there. Yeah, so good for you for
I'll
getting
do that.
registered though, well done.
Yep, Tracy got that registered the other day.
Nice.
It looked like we were set, but then something was off, so.
But you know what, once you've built it in there, next year it'll still be there.
Yeah.
Unless they change their website
Unless
again,
they change their
which
website.
they did
but
like
it's
twice.
They did, but a couple of years, it's hanging out at the same
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. It's good to try, like, it was good for us to try to get onto it because then we realized there's other things that have to happen in Connecticut, so I've only been in I founded a 501c3 in Arizona. And, every state is different. So it was Washington Gives. It said, oh, by the way, you also have to register as a Connecticut charity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though you
The
are
Secretary of the
a
State.
501c3 already, I know. So it's just another thing that you have to.
And it's like.
And
you
there's
have-
nothing on any website
get
that
a
says
separate-
this is what you need to do if you're a Connecticut nonprofit. So
That's
thank
weird.
goodness.
I think there is a website somewhere, because I remember
There must be
finding it,
somewhere, but
There is
because
reams of.
you have to do
Yeah,
that in
yeah,
order
yeah.
to solicit donations.
Yes, so they were the ones that reached out to us and said, we see you're building your page, but we see that you don't have this, and this is how you do it.
Yeah, that's totally.
Super helpful. Yeah.
So helpful. So we were very grateful for those, because they wanted to make sure we could be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it's
Several emails back and forth later, resolved.
well, it's great. It's a useful exercise and the foundation helps you reach a larger audience and make sure you get your ducks in a row. So it is good. It is good. They're a wonderful organization. Are we-
And then, the other members who are not here tonight are Karen Silk, whom you probably know, okay? Simon Holt, who's head of the Washington Art Association.
I've met him, I don't really know.
He was
him.
here
Yeah.
last month, yeah.
Yeah, and then, an Abdo Ballister who has been
He
around.
was here last month.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
and, can connect with me. And I have a company called Ideasmith. I work with creative professionals, and I also have a big love of programming and do.
Idea Smith,
Yeah, Ideasmith.
Like
the name of
that.
my- So,
All right.
what do you do with that? If your name's Idea Smith, you don't have to answer the question. What do you do?
well, I typically work with, people on their first books is often my sort of sweet spot client, but I also work with people who are working on, I call it a big communications project. It could be a performance piece, it could be, a TED Talk, it could be, they have their book coming out and they want to think about how to express that in whatever. So we can sidebar about that, but yes.
Cool. All right. You good?
Yes.
All right, let's move forward so we can talk about some of this. Cultural district progress, I just want to say that there has been no progress. We've been so busy with restaurant week. But I want to keep it on the agenda just as a reminder that we're still working on that. I am going to share with you, actually, I think this might be a good time, two quick notes. We went to the Board of Finance meeting, when the selectmen presented to the Board of Finance on April 1st. And our full request has survived so far.
Wow.
So that is fantastic.
So is it
No
we have one
pushback.
more ring of fire or?
Well, they're deliberating again on the 15th and then it goes to the town, then there's a hearing and then the vote. But it wasn't a hot topic, so I think.
Could go under the radar.
Yes, that's where
That's
we
where you
are
wanna
right
be in
now,
that
and it's not big
conversation.
dollars, so I think it's probably gonna stay under the radar. On the other hand, Explore is not under the radar. That every couple of years that comes up and that one got the expenditure for the website Explore got hit hard. So it's still in the budget for now, but we're gonna, that'll be next year. I'm gonna have to keep advocating and reminding everyone of how important that is.
And using
because-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really relevant to the EDC because it helps all of our businesses, but it also helps all our nonprofits. That's our events calendar. Like that's like our Bible. That's what we live by. So really, and their outreach beyond our little tiny town is critical to the survival of our nonprofits.
And also,
So-
since all of us have nonprofits or are involved with them, I just highly recommend going to the EDC page of the town website. This is something Michelle did with me tonight. Walked me through on the upper left-hand corner. There is a report that they do every two
Every
times
6
a year.
months, yeah, twice a year.
And it says like what they're doing. And the thing I think they're doing an excellent job. And it just reminds you like what we all should be doing in terms of communications and how they are disseminating it. And they're also showing metrics of their success. So I just think that they're doing, that to me was a really good template. Maybe all of you already have them, but I'd never seen one so well organized and very lucid and very easy to follow. And you just flip through it. It's maybe, I don't know, 10 pages or 20 pages, but it's all visuals. So it's worth your time, 5 minutes. I think you might find it really interesting.
Yeah, it's a great example of how to do a report on your
Yes.
communication
Right.
strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. So, the reason I brought that up under cultural district progress, I think it's probably, the timing is working out that actually we didn't get this in front of the selectmen during budget season because some of the comments that, have been coming through the Board of Finance are that there's some people feeling like there's too much growth and too much activity and, so putting a cultural
You're-
district in front of them at this moment might not have been the best
Okay.
at the moment anyway. So I think the timing might be
people
okay.
who like things to be sleepy and don't want to be mistaken for too lively or God forbid woke. So,
Well, they want to be able to park when they come into town. They want to be.
especially the post office.
You know, Monday of the eclipse was a great day to park wherever you want. It was shockingly quiet.
It is
everywhere
very
you
quiet.
were.
Well, and all of us were out back here looking
Yeah,
at the clips. Yes,
But
so,
the steep rock parking lot was
It was
jammed.
jammed, yeah, no, downtown nobody.
Yeah.
And did the whole school go somewhere? The middle school?
We didn't, we just were outside, like we had.
It was
everything
dead
set up for
silent on
classes
green.
and
I
everything
did
was out
not
of
see a
the
human
blade.
being.
Yeah,
the
it was
entire
quiet,
day.
it was quiet on, yeah, they
Just
pushed
me.
practices back and everything so people could be, you know.
Two members of my staff, one went to Syracuse and one went to Upper Vermont.
Yeah.
Took them both 12 hours to get home.
Yeah.
Oh geez, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew a lot
And
of
what was
people.
remarkable was they didn't, the one in Vermont didn't, he'd seen 5 to 10 cars that he knew were there looking at it. But when he got in the road to go back, it was just a line.
Yeah,
Line.
Yeah.
So everyone had their own little spot.
little spots, yep.
But they all left at the same, some went early, some went, but they
Yeah,
all left
all
at the
really
same
was
time.
at the same time.
Yeah,
It was over, right.
yeah, interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, so anyway, cultural district, to be continued.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, restaurant week happenings, so exciting, and I'm actually going to share my screen. Because I am going to bring up the website.
It looks great. I saw it. I was on it today.
Yay,
Yeah.
yay. So, we have been working to get it out everywhere. It is on the CT Visit website.
Yep.
It went out in the Northwest Arts
Yeah, it
Council's
was out today.
email
Yeah.
today.
Today.
I've sent in a press release to Voices. We'll see if they run it. Zoe and Michael from Litchfield.co were on the news this morning cooking, talking about
Nice.
Restaurant Week. We're gonna get a video clip of that one tomorrow, maybe, so that we can share that on social media. So it's happening, and all the restaurants participated, which is wonderful.
It's great.
And we've gotten a few arts events to come together around it. But then what I wanted to show you all, well, first of all, so we're front and right here, you know, as a co-sponsor of the event, we're on the yard signs, so that's really great, you know, good visibility for the Arts Council. But if you go, oh, you know what, let me just expand this. If you go down to the arts part, so here are all the restaurants. All the restaurants are participating, but if you go down here, we have the galleries and we've linked up what they're doing, but then there is a calendar.
Okay.
And so I was speaking, there, one or
Like the
two,
weekend days, click on one of those.
yes.
Cause those are.
Could you put
more
on the
going-
21st? Because that was gonna be my question.
Yeah, so it's not there yet,
Yeah,
the
how
play,
how
but it will be.
Can I-
No,
oh, okay.
I sent it to him today, but Michael was out on the road.
Okay, cool.
Cause he went to explore, what we decided to do is to go in and pick up any arts things
Yeah.
that weren't organized for this, but are just arts things happening. So there's a concert up at Salem we know nothing about, but we threw
Throw
it
it
on
on
here, we threw it on there. So here we have the Art Association opening that's Saturday. This is Sunday. And I have the flyer for the film screening that's coming together, The Art of Eating. Here's the official flyer, which is very exciting, and Judy Black just sent this out to their whole email list with the whole Restaurant Week
Great.
link. And then there's that concert and your play is going on there, so don't worry.
Violet me, okay. I was
Yes.
gonna ask like.
5 o'clock,
I'll
yeah,
do
no, so it's gonna be here, so anybody who's coming to Restaurant Week, we were trying to help people build a day event, an evening event, you know, go to the play, go to dinner,
Mhm.
whatever, which we are doing that. So our organizing committee is going to the film, going to the play, and then going to dinner,
We're going to
right?
the
I
Mayflower.
think we're doing the
Well,
whole thing.
this was exactly our strategy of putting it at 5 o'clock.
Very
So that
smart.
people
That
could,
gap.
yep, so
Yeah.
they could go to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
Catch dinner.
I think that's a perfect time on Sunday.
Yep, so each day, obviously during the week, there are less things happening. But then here we come to the next weekend.
And by the way,
And-
just as an arts trend, I really like doing something dinner afterwards. You can talk about what you just seen. I don't know
Yeah.
why
I know.
the trend, I mean, I guess some people work late. Just, I think up here in particular, especially in the winter when things get dark,
Yeah.
I'm just pushing that trend. So. the
We
more
have 2 venues
afternoon
this
things,
year
like,
across the
it's
country
a
that are
sweet spot of
asking.
time
us
when-
to- Yeah.
Five.
Just wait in the afternoon, it's something fun and then fit
Yeah.
into the evening. I love that time.
Right, I do too.
I like an early bird
Yeah.
special.
It's easier to get dinner reservations.
Yeah,
No, I think it also, it is much more comfortable. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in New York City for a number of years, worked at restaurants where you pre-theater dinner was a thing.
And the rush.
And
It was
the-
so
the
stressful.
mad rush.
Painful.
And people are freaking out because they don't have their checks, they need to go watch their theater,
Yeah.
right? And this is, I agree.
I think it's also smart too, or I mean, for, not just for us, but for anybody too, because with sports on TV is such a huge thing in the evening, and especially with the playoff season. And we have the West Coast and everything, it seems like all the games start late, so anybody that follows sports or wants to watch playoff games,
Oh my gosh.
they're like starting, at like 9:15,
I know,
9:20, and
right?
it's like, wow.
Monday night.
Because of the 3 hour
That was
time difference,
painful.
so everything is starting much later, I've noticed, and
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like do 5 o'clock and then they're out and they can get back and watch something if they want.
And
But
especially on Sundays, I mean,
Yeah.
for those who do go, commute to the city or whatever, they can still get back at a
They can
reasonable
still
hour.
do
They can
that.
be home,
Right.
or at 8 o'clock dinner in New York.
Mhm.
So it's a great time.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, I know, right? So
Terrific.
it's
Well
good,
done.
so we made the decision to go just to explore and pick up any of the other, so like he picked up Hollister House, they're having a watercolor workshop. So that seemed artsy, so we threw it on there, right? So you can go to lunch or dinner afterwards. Yeah, so I think it's exciting.
So do all those links, I mean, does it take you to more information on?
Yeah,
that? They
they're all
do.
hyperlinked, yeah.
That's
are
great.
they, I don't know that these are,
Oh,
They're
Oh,
just
it looks like
underlined.
it looks like it.
they're just
Right.
underlined. I don't think these are all linked.
maybe while you're on Zoom, it doesn't, let me try.
But so each of these places has a link. And I wonder if we should put for more information, visit Explore.
I think that I don't think
Are
it's that hard
these
for them to
links?
hyperlink.
Where's that? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's
down
the one,
there.
to
Yes,
Marty,
yes,
next to
got it.
Marty's.
Yep,
That's the name of it.
Yep.
It's that place next to
next
Marty's.
to Marty's.
No.
Is that how you say it? How do you say it?
It's Michael, and
Nari.
I think it's updated. I
Nari.
go notes to Michael, I gotta. Play, I think we'll make, that's a good point, since those aren't linked.
No, yeah,
To-
at
to-
Hopkins, I mean, yeah, oh, and also Hopkins Music Spelling. Anyway, we'll follow up with him.
Yeah, for more information.
Has anyone been to the music at GW Tavern yet?
I mean, back in the day, I haven't been lately.
No.
This newest iteration?
Not this current, I mean, they just started.
No, yeah, they just
February, and then
started.
It snowed out the second weekend.
Okay.
John came and plowed my driveway just because he's an amazingly helpful guy. Saw Curtis shoveling and he came over, I was like, how's the music? He's like, it's been canceled twice.
Yeah, that's tough. I wonder where they set up. They set up in the back
I believe they set up
or near the
in the
fireplace?
front in one of the corners and they moved the big table that's got benches on two sides.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I haven't actually attended.
Yeah.
That was just the rumor I heard of what they plan to do.
Oh. All right, so, any other questions? So we did approve in at our last meeting, money to have a reception. We don't really have like a big event. The only thing is, we are the official sponsors, us and the EDC, of the film that's happening at Judy Black, because Judy Black allowed us to use the space as the nonprofit. And we use the insurance of the town for the insurance to use the space. So technically, we're sponsoring, it says here, made possible by the Town of Washington Economic Development Committee and the Arts Council. So technically, that's our event. Zoe and I are gonna set up and everything. If we wanted, we could provide some refreshments. Zoe said she might do something for it, but
Perfect.
maybe I could tell her that we approved up to $300 for a reception, so if we would like, we could maybe give her some money to beef up that reception for the film. Does that seem like a good idea?
Yeah, I
Seems
mean,
best to tie it into something that exists. So
Yeah.
it's not.
That's great.
I mean, what I
Yeah,
loved
they're
about this film, I mean, it's a documentary, I don't know much about it, but I just love that it's the art of eating, and so it ties into our theme so well.
Perfect.
And the other thing that I love is, Judy Black did a really great job just for Restaurant Week. They put up a AP student art show from Chippewa and the Frederick Dunn School, because their walls were gonna be bare. So they did it for us, for this, which
That's
I
a pretty good show. I've seen there today.
were you, I saw it on the wall, I haven't seen it hung yet. And so it'll be on the walls while we're doing the video, so I thought that was really nice, so it might be kind of nice for that Arts Council to kind of make that. The food for that, a little nicer, so.
Having seen kid art before, nothing on the wall looked like it was kid art.
I know, well, cause it's the
2
eighth,
weeks.
yeah.
We could probably go down for a little bit too.
We could.
So great, I'll just let Zoe know. She was gonna try, make something simple, but I'll let her know
Nice.
that the Arts Council will help fund some of it, so.
Yeah.
That would be
Would you
great.
serve wine with it? I mean, have wine too, or just?
Is it 2:00?
It's 2:00 on a Sunday, maybe could.
Or
Should we?
maybe, like, I mean, what, maybe, I like the Hopkins hard cider, maybe they would even donate it.
Reception.
We hope to connect with them, so I would love that. We were unsuccessful in connecting with Hopkins for our winter interchange.
There's also the, whatever it was Michael was talking about with Litchfield Distillery.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were gonna
Always.
participate.
They will
Yeah,
always
they're
donate,
very
or
good.
I could donate what they donated to me last year that we haven't drunk yet.
Well, yeah, it doesn't last forever, yeah.
Donate to our house. We came over to the house the other night, drank all our booze.
Everything.
Because you're gonna refine
It was
Yeah, I gotta
better, yeah.
refinish it.
2 for 1.
It'll
Is
be a
there
full
a-
bottle.
Michael had spoken with them as a partner
Yeah.
for the event to work with the restaurants. I don't know if anybody took him up on that, but.
In fact, I ran into that woman who works, I think at Ravis,
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
also, oh, wait, what's her name?
And she
So
always,
nice.
she
always
does the
represents-
Litchfield Distillery table.
Yes.
Jackie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jackie,
yeah.
Jackie.
Yes, and she's like, oh, I'm excited about Restaurant Week, and I know Michael, and I just assumed it was happening.
Yeah,
But am
I'll
I-
have to follow up
Okay,
on
so that's
that.
on your Michael list?
Yeah.
Jackie's wild. She's funny.
So I'll check in with him about that.
If we were
For the
doing
reception.
Pellegrino or something like that, in addition, would we get that from the what, from either the market
Yeah,
or the liquor
yeah.
store?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of disparate sources, but
I know, so we'll see. It's so interesting. I am so excited for this, but I'm also helping coordinate Earth Day on the day before.
Which is on the
Oh,
20th,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And that's
it's
in, that-
big.
is it?
It's at Judy Black, so
At the
which is
Judy Black,
great,
right.
because the
Yeah.
student artwork will be on display, and anybody coming to that event will see the flyer for the film, which is also great.
Right.
It's just a lot going, it's gonna be a big weekend.
I know.
But, yeah, I'll talk to Zoe, I'll talk to Michael, we'll pull something together. And so, Arts Council people should come, if you can.
And also, Michelle got cards with our logo and a QR code in the back, is that
I
right?
didn't do, no, the cards are Restaurant Week with the QR code to this website.
Oh, okay,
They're not Arts Council ones.
oh, okay,
We did talk about,
that's fine,
but
it's good.
I don't
Keep it simple and
think,
direct, that's good.
we'll focus on the Arts Council. I wanted to talk about the prizes, and also I'm gonna talk to the EDC as well. I wanna make sure we get the guidebooks at all the restaurants, so that hopefully we'll get some new people, some people that don't usually come to eat in Washington.
What time is Earth Day on the 20th? Like, or I mean, the
Is it
window
10
of
to
time?
10 to 2.
Okay, great.
Water testing, though, you can come pick up the water bottles at 9. Because you have to bring it back before they leave. Right. So you can do that. You're on campus more, so you don't need to test your break.
Well,
Maybe somebody should.
Well.
Maybe you should.
I know, they should.
So I also just wanted to point out the prizes that are here. We have had very generous donation. Let me try to move our whole box here.
And this
so
is,
you can see that.
yeah, there's,
Yeah.
you upload your receipt. which is
Yes.
pretty
Is that what it
clever.
is?
So,
And then you get entered to a lot.
so, yep, and it shows you how to do it here. You take a picture, you fill out the form below, and you attach the picture of your receipt and you're entered into the drawing.
And you get to enter with each restaurant eating receipt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
So good.
six
Great.
people are gonna win and I mean, there's some really,
There's some really
Great.
substantial,
That's-
yeah.
some
that's
serious stuff here.
Right?
None of us can win, so
I
have
know.
your spouses, sisters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Friends.
My child.
My child.
Yeah.
will get some-
Spouses and sisters.
Get in
Don't
there.
Oh, you're the select.
Just got it.
The
It
select-
says the
Five.
Poe Cafe on there,
You're
my
in.
kids will be like, I don't want first place, I want fifth place.
Right.
The Poe.
I know, right? Yeah, so a huge thank you to all the
Yeah.
restaurants and
That's
actually,
terrific.
the Hen's Nest, I think, you
Where
know,
is the hen's nest? I've seen.
It's to the left of
The gallery next to.
Oh, of course.
with all
Yeah.
the artisanal beautiful things.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep, of course, I know.
so,
202.
So, yes.
I went in there with your mom.
Yeah, the hen's nest. Yes, she loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
Really, like, moms
Yeah.
go wild.
Yes.
it is great. Yeah, so I'm excited, you know.
Yeah, this is
Times
excellent.
really
coming
great.
together. Again, I will point out that it was interesting because the feedback that we've gotten as we were pulling it together was that it felt, the restaurants felt it was kind of later, like they would have loved to have driven traffic a little
In
earlier
the
in the
winter,
season.
like,
And then
yeah.
the galleries are like, we aren't really open yet.
yeah,
So it's kind of, maybe we found the sweet spot because we were just on the front edge of the galleries and on the end
Yeah.
of the slow season, you know, before it really picks up for the
Mhm.
restaurants. We'll see.
The rest
You
of
know.
the week is fine. March would be nuts to do.
yeah.
I mean,
March,
we were
yeah.
shooting for
Yeah.
March and we just didn't get organized enough for
April's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
It's not
are,
busy.
you know,
It's not a busy season yet.
Weather change, yeah,
So-
I agree.
Well, and
You can even get
think about
outside, you can sit
early
outside,
April
be a little
next
more
year.
comfortable.
April's a different month than March.
I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I see at the museum, we're seeing more people.
And the other reason honestly is that
Daylight.
this guy who's coordinating it is trying deliberately, in a positive way, staggering the weeks.
Yeah. no,
And he
there's a lot
got to
going
us later and he already had scheduled other ones.
yeah, we didn't want
So-
to be at the same time.
Because the biggest
Would've
point
been-
of this is like, oh, it's slow in locally, right? So
Right,
we're trying to get people from other towns to drive 20 minutes, half hour to come here.
right.
So you don't want to be overlapping with the same in another place.
Yeah,
Well, I drove 20 minutes to
and
get
the
there.
menu, oh, there is, do menu specials, everything, great,
yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I
do
heard
menu
somebody tell me
specials
that. That's great.
and everybody,
Different
yeah,
times, yeah. different
all
menus
doing their
also
thing.
For that time, yeah.
Mhm. So definitely should check it out. I mean, it's interesting, I think from a promotional standpoint, there's a lot of information. So hopefully people are seeing the posters that, and with the QR code, going in the selectman's email with the link, you know, so that people will be able, you know, take a minute to go to the website, pick your restaurant, look at their menu.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
And their lawn signs are up and our logo looks beautiful.
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I made you think.
All right, any other questions?
Oh, just when you're out and about, that's what this is for. Please wear your little dorky name tag. So,
I like
ask you
name tag.
questions.
I'm the person that always suggests we make name tags.
I
Right.
am a
You
big
will not have
believer.
me
I'm a big
Opposing
believer.
it.
Yeah,
I will-
Modeling it beautifully.
You guys have real name tags. I'm always jealous of your name tag.
Yeah,
I
City
know,
Black
they're
is very
like-
fancy.
Yeah, they have fancy, and someday if we feel like it, we could make real ones, but I just,
They get lost.
this was, seemed perfectly adequate.
These are perfect.
But we want people to see that the council's out and about and doing stuff, so, yeah.
Just think at this time last year, this didn't even exist.
Right? It's amazing.
There
It
you
is
go.
truly amazing.
and
Yeah.
listed in all of these things.
I know, our
you know,
first one ever, yeah, so it's exciting, I hope I think it'll go well because you know, restaurants know what they're doing, I just hope people come,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's not that it's not gonna go well, it's just hopefully people come.
I think they will. I do.
Restaurants do know what they're doing or they wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
It's not
it's a tough
a-
business.
survive.
No,
Right.
it's a tough business, so they've already, they knew what they're doing. All right, so if you happen to have your own social media accounts and you see any of the promotions, like it, share it, do the thing, whatever that is,
Yep,
right? Because that's what this whole next week is gonna really be about. is
And then
just-
also one reason where these Dorothy Beautiful Name Tags is to be able to ask people, like, what did you think? You know, we want this to be successful, we want it to be successful next year, so, you're ambassadors.
Super.
Just don't interrupt their dinner.
Excuse me.
What did you choose?
Yes.
All right, with no further questions, let's keep moving. We got
Yeah.
some more stuff.
Mhm.
Next up, we just have on the, so we can discuss it again, is the fundraiser that Fran is
Yeah,
organizing.
I mean, not everyone was here last time, so,
Ken told me
let
about
me
it.
just give a brief synopsis of, what I'm proposing. Margaret Atwood and Douglas Preston, co-edited a book called 14 Days. And it was written during the pandemic. And I'm not gonna have the number correct, but it's either 32 or 36 authors participated. They, are anonymous in the course of the book. I must confess that I have to do this. I haven't read the book yet. I don't know whether it reads well or whether it's stupid or whatever it is. But it's the concept of it that I think is so, is so great. And we have arranged for Roxana Robinson, Mary Pope Osborne of Magic Tree House fame, and Rachel Vare, who's also a children's picture book author, and she writes for intermediate readers as well, to come for a panel discussion about the book and the process
Mhm.
with Alyssa Altman, another author who wrote Motherland, Poor Man's Feast Trust, and she's a former editor at Penguin Random House. To Judy Black on May 24th at 4 p.m.
Which is the Friday of Labor.
Which is the Friday of Labor Day
Memorial Day
weekend.
weekend.
Memorial Day.
Ah, Jesus.
Right, not Labor Day.
It's when you start wearing,
Don't
not when
quote
you
me.
stop wearing.
I have no idea where in the world I am.
I knew exactly what you meant, that last weekend in May,
It's always the
whatever.
two bookends of summer.
Needless to say, I hear that night.
Coming up, it's that
I'm
weekend.
so ready.
Sorry, Fran, to ruin your flow. Keep going.
What time is it at?
4 o'clock
4 o'clock. And it's at the Judy Black.
at Judy Black.
Yep.
The price of the book is $32. Hickory Stick will donate $10 from the sale of every book to the Arts Council. The price of admission is the purchase of the book. In terms of, I know Victoria is anxious to see what's the promotion, what's the publicity. And, I mean, we're pretty much no further along than we were the last time. Polly's just getting ready to do the press release. A couple of the issues that, I need help with is there's a brief video clip that has to be shown, based on the requirements of, the Authors Guild, which is behind this whole, program. And Judy Black does not have the equipment for that.
Oh, I have it. Yeah,
Okay,
Awesome.
absolutely do that.
Thank you.
okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay,
So by equipment, it's gonna be like a big monitor?
I
or-
have. I think I
Oh,
have one about that size that is on that I have
On a
a
trolley
standard
or
truss
something?
for.
so
Or-
we might have,
But something was in here during our photo exhibit. I don't know who had brought that today.
No, we were using.
we used
Oh, we
this
used
one.
this in the end,
So
and
I
I
put-
almost went and grabbed mine because
So
we were having
Fran,
a
for
sound
the,
issue.
for the showing of the film, we're not doing a projection because it's in the daytime.
Right,
So I have a 65-inch screen that, and
it'll already be there.
that I'm bringing in for this film, and Laura told me, oh, cause you
okay,
need,
You're
so
just
we're on
asking.
it.
okay, okay.
There
I
will
just
be a
have to
screen.
find a place to store it, and I just
For a
bought some
month, yeah.
casters for this stand, we'll figure it out. But,
Okay.
and I can also borrow one from the First Congregational Church, which is more that size.
Okay, I was thinking the library is a possibility too,
Oh, but-
but I didn't know what they
Yeah,
had.
so
Okay,
we'll,
Between
we'll,
us, I'm sure.
we'll
we have
figure it out.
the right
okay, well,
stuff,
that's a
yeah.
bit
Awesome.
late because
Huge.
that,
Yeah.
that was a
I was
big.
gonna offer
have
one, but
to.
all yours are bigger.
We
It's a 50.
We could just take one down. off the
So
floor.
Yes.
I think that runs for about 5 to 10 minutes and
Okay.
it just gives a background on it. I don't know, I mean, refreshments, not refreshments, I don't, what we've done sometimes with events that we've had there is serve lemon water, just to have that available. I think that's adequate. I mean, I don't think.
People aren't coming for the refreshment, they're coming for the rest of it. Water's fine.
Well,
Or,
that-
and we could put, I mean, we could even, like, we could put out some cookies or something, or some crackers, just to have it, but it's.
I mean, we have next month to talk about that too. I mean, we don't have to decide that now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
But that's not gonna be what we're advertising. The only thing we have to worry about is what we're advertising right now.
right,
Yeah.
and then, we have, I mean, we've never done this before, so we're in the process of setting up an account with Eventbrite to, have people register for the event. And I mean, we will get it into the Arts Council by Monday. I got an email from, Victoria.
Well, it's such nice
No.
publicity.
No, it's great. I'm glad you're on it. So it is coming together. I mean, and that was the big piece that was the most worrisome.
How many people can Judy Black hold this?
70
we have 75 chairs.
70 punches.
and
We've
standing.
had more. We've had more.
I mean, I think
Be nice.
some of it, I mean, I think it will be appealing, but I think some of it is also word of mouth and also promoting the fact that it's a fundraiser for the Arts
So
Council.
that's why, I mean, all hands on deck,
Again,
Arts Council,
yeah,
right? Like,
totally.
we need to.
And we
make
also
sure
should,
we're-
we do now have, I think it's basically all the people that, we have our mailing list. Like, I think that all the people that were the photographers from last fall is like, our list is like 50 people. But I think, you know, when we're there, at the event, we should also encourage people to sign up, for our
Mhm,
list and
yeah.
in yours and whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, look, I know you've got this all handled. I mean, you're an old hand at producing great events. I just wanted to make sure that we're doing what we can.
oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
right, we're here to help.
I want all the help that anyone wants
I
to give and all the advice that anyone wants to give.
Just so that it goes, so it's $32 for a ticket, or is it?
To buy the book.
Right, so if they get a book by, okay, oh
Yeah,
So,
my God.
I mean.
I know,
you're-
it's a
free
fantastic
event.
To buy a book.
but do we buy it at the event, or do we buy it before and read it and then come to the event?
I don't think you need to read it, and I think that, I mean, I think it could be both. I mean, we could, it would be nice to have it all pre-sold, but it probably
because they have
won't
to
be.
process it then.
If, then we would just process it through Square at the event, if we were selling books there.
So you're basically,
The author's talk is gonna give you a better read of the book.
I'm sorry?
The author's talk will give you a better read of the book.
yeah,
It's gonna be a little panel discussion. exactly.
It's just,
Um,
that's the good part.
I mean, it's not a discussion among the audience. I mean, I think what will entice people to want to read the book is hearing what the authors say
Okay,
about their
good, good, good.
experience.
So it's not like a book club. where
It's
you
not
need
like
to
a
be-
book
okay.
club, no.
So that's good, and it makes it easier, because then you don't have to like go pick up the book at the Hickory to come
Right,
back for the
right,
event 2 weeks
right,
later.
Right,
If you have any issues setting up the Eventbrite, I know the Northwest Arts Council uses it for all of their events.
I have people who can do it too.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, I'm sure they would help because we're members.
okay, I mean,
And-
I'll talk further to Polly tomorrow.
Yeah,
I mean, she seemed to be
see-
pretty confident about what
Okay.
she was doing, and she's very good, but,
Good.
it's nice, again, it's nice to know what the resources are.
But it's not gonna be an event that anybody can just walk into. You have to.
You have to buy, you have to purchase. You
Okay,
have-
good.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and that will be
Fair enough.
part of the publicity, no?
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. So you get a book for
And-
purchasing a ticket.
Right,
Yeah, I know, it's right, it's.
I mean, the book is your ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
Holy
great.
moly, it's great,
I'm looking forward to it.
super.
I
My
am
semester's
too.
done.
And also just a reminder, you guys are all aware of the Northwest Connecticut Arts Council, like, you know, their monthly newsletter. It's like usually
Yeah.
2 weeks out. Okay, good.
Yeah, we've got
Very
our stuff on there.
And obviously, the three authors who are there will sign books too.
And I'm going to the event.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But
we're
we-
27.
Chris, are you aware that
Came
we
along.
got a discount
And
on
I
the Northwest
wanted to
Connecticut
think
Arts
about
Council
what
gala
would
that's
be
taking place
a
in
good
Shag.
thing to do with it.
So they're $100 tickets. They
So
offer
we're two fifty.
Yeah, you were there at the meeting. Okay.
No, I just read it today.
Oh, okay, good.
I was
Oh,
like
and-
70.
My retention isn't that long.
It's not-
No?
I hope so.
So if you're
But
interested, I
there's so
can
much-
forward
there's
that
so much
email
going on in this
to
town.
you. Did you
And
get
some
that?
of it is.
With
actual
there's like
laws that
members only.
Add
you
you
know,
to the,
It's,
to
yes.
email.
There's a code, there's a
Yeah.
code
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I would-
Um,
at checkout.
I believe I know.
Can't
that
all have
I
another
got
week,
to check,
Em.
So I must.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Like,
so,
Yeah.
Finish that up.
yeah,
Okay.
good. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, keep
Yeah.
us posted and,
is so
you
exciting.
know, yeah, it is
So-
really great. Thank you
And
so
from the
much.
concept, what you said, that they all wrote, it's not like individual, they just kind of picked up
I
from
mean,
whatever.
it's all
I was
got
telling
blended
Tracy about that, it
together.
just goes from the next, like, the next
I'm
paragraph
super
or whatever it
intrigued.
is.
I know, I'm,
Like, it
Fascinating,
must
not
be
like
like some kind of writing
32
approach.
chapters
Yeah.
and 32 short stories. It's like-
no,
No, it's not that. I mean, it's just all blended.
it
together.
sounds really cool. I'm
A
excited.
different concept of some
Yeah.
sort there.
Mhm.
And like I said, that is graduation weekend, at Frederick Gunn. I assume that it's probably graduation weekend at Canterbury. So I think we'll have a pretty good influx of people around here. So, you know,
That's
and
good.
especially if they hear some of the names and a few things that are going on, they're gonna be at 4 o'clock. It's not like,
It's
you know,
not-
they
it's
could
not.
go and then they can go out to dinner,
Then they can go and do
right?
whatever
You know, they
think.
can take out their kid to dinner
So your
or
favorite
all those things,
4 to
right?
5
So,
-ish, right around that
truly.
time.
So you might, it might be surprising, so,
It used to be cocktail.
and
We're not
if you wanna
close.
send me any information, Jennifer Clement, who does our
Yeah, I know
communication,
Jen.
you know Jen,
Yeah,
yeah, she probably could put that in like in our, you know, gun,
Okay.
gun in the know kind of
Okay.
thing and like.
Fun,
So
yeah.
it's-
So,
parents,
for the
yeah.
parents, so the parents know, like,
That's
'cause
great.
they'll be coming in on Friday and like,
Yep.
they're, you know, they're gonna be just
Yeah.
hanging out, waiting to go to the GW or White Horse or something like that with their kid.
Yeah, museum.
And so, or the museum,
Of course.
Of course, the museum.
so, yeah. so
Yeah, that's probably-
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
Yep,
And then do you want to talk about, indie?
Independent Bookstore Day,
Yes.
which
is
is,
that the trail?
that's the trail. Yeah. This is, I think,
Stream.
I'm not sure, but I mean, this has been going on for several years now, but the whole idea is that there are, I think it might be 16 or 17 independent bookstores in Connecticut participating. And you get a passport. You can, there are two ways to do it. There, if you visit all stores during the course of the weekend, you are eligible for one set of prizes, whatever those were. I didn't get one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
If
Like you get a stamp, like Where's Waldo? Like,
Yeah,
you get a
exactly,
stamp in
exactly.
each one.
You get a
And-
stamp
and
in
when
each
you
one.
finish your
And you actually have
passport-
2 days. The independent bookstore day is Saturday.
Right,
But you have the 2 days to
2
go
days,
all over the
but
state.
then there's another
Wow,
version
there's-
of it, which
that's
is
crazy.
slow and steady, which you can do throughout the
I
summer.
appreciate it.
And then in
Oh,
September,
Oh, that's sweet.
you,
I'll go for that one. I didn't know about that. That's good.
if you do that, but,
Yeah.
so you, I'm pretty sure it's no purchase necessary, but obviously.
The
people
website
do.
said it was no.
Yeah, people do make purchases, so it's a great day for us. But, and all the other stores, but it's fun. I mean, it gives people an excuse to go throughout the state.
Yeah, I just didn't know all these cool, and I love their weird names and it's just great.
Well, and I just wanna say, like, and please, let's talk about this at EDC too. Thank you for getting Washington on here.
Yeah.
Right, cause now we're gonna have a whole slew of book lover people who are gonna
Well, they've been
road
coming.
trip around
they've
and
been
hopefully
coming.
they'll
I mean,
stop
yeah.
and get a cup of coffee and, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
check
yeah.
Washington out. So that is really great.
It's really good.
I did notice, cause you highlighted, like, it's on the arts, it says Hickory Stick Independent Bookstore
Mhm.
Day on the, I forget what day it is. It was on
It's
the, arts-
Saturday.
on this,
2
on this,
weeks, 2 weeks from Saturday.
are there special events going on at the bookstore or it's just?
I mean, yes, there are a lot of different things going on. There's contests, there's giveaways.
Okay.
Last year I got this cool brown paper bag book with a surprise.
Yes, you'll get that again this year.
New
Yeah,
feature.
blind date with a book. I mean, they're advanced reading copies that
20%.
somebody right now is putting blurbs on them and you get to pick out the one you want. There's, a contest where, one book has been shredded and guess what the book is. I mean, there are a whole host of things going on.
Fun,
Yeah.
okay.
Hilarious.
That is
We
really
will
great.
have, I hope if the ribbon is still good, we will have an old typewriter where you can, just type in your impressions of the day or whatever you want, and, depending on what we get, we'll publicize that.
Fun.
Way to go.
But
Really
it's
fun.
totally a fun day, and
Yeah.
everybody coming in is happy.
Well, and it's just, it's another
We
way.
do have one customer who has, done it, for the last 3 years. The first year, she had a friend who accompanied her as they did it, and they did it in the 2 days.
They did all
Right.
20 bookstores in 2 days.
Whatever the.
Yeah, I think it's
Really
20.
slow
It's 20,
stage to
okay,
drive.
it's an
Yeah,
increase.
I know.
It's rough.
The friend won the grand prize of a $50 gift certificate to all of the bookstores.
Oh my
The
God.
following year, she went with someone else. And that person won the $25 gift certificate to all the
She's a magic
stores.
ticket.
Yeah.
I just want to throw, this is. It's so, anyway, real quick, my mother did this in Wisconsin it was quilt shops. I
Okay,
think there were like 50. She had 1 month to do it. She won, and I went with her to Texas, all expense paid trip to the National Quilt
So to
Show.
go? Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
for 3 days. Put us up at air tickets, hotel.
That's brilliant.
It
That's
was,
awesome.
my mother was,
And you didn't have to do a quilt.
I didn't have to
There
make
was
it
no
go.
stitching involved.
No stitching involved.
I love it.
So
I love it.
people love doing these
It's 2
things.
weeks from now, it's the
They
27th.
love doing it. You know, they'll road trip, they'll make
Yeah,
it
I've
they'll make it an
underlined
event.
the date
It's
as
great.
well.
Yeah.
It's the same day as the Shag event in the evening, so you can do both.
Oh, the for the
So the event
Northwest,
at
the
Shag.
Northwest,
Yeah,
yeah,
Northwest.
right.
Right, and yeah,
You were going to
that's
that.
the ending of the
Right.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to the yard.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to the yard.
I figured it.
I know, bringing Vivian to the yard.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So much stuff
I know.
happening. All right.
All right, we're-
I thought it was gonna be a conflict.
We'd like to, you have so much more to talk about.
I know. Okay, there it is.
Sorry.
So-
Let's go.
Fun, but,
Don't make
maybe
me
people
sick, so
take to
you're-
like 8:15.
Yeah,
Okay.
8:15, we got it, we got it.
Okay,
20 minutes, here we go.
we'll keep going. No news on the oral history project, correct?
No, I do have quick news.
Oh, okay.
So, Karen has done these before. You may have heard that. She has somebody in mind who's an artist in the area in her 90s. I forget the name of the artist. I met with Simon Holt, and this is sort of a principle in general, wherever the artist is from, or however they're active in whatever media, whenever possible and natural, I would love for that to be a public event as well. And Karen said, oh, when you do oral history projects, like it's multiple meetings, et cetera, that's all fine, but why not have one of them be public? Because I think that would also be so great. So I talked to Simon, he's like, I love that idea, and maybe it could be coordinated with one of his coffee hours, or he's been experimenting with coffee hours and with cocktail hours, et cetera. And then like, what I love about that, and thinking about our mission of being this umbrella organization, like, oh, the Gun Memorial Museum and library are incentivized to promote it. WA, in that case, is incentivized to promote it. We are incentivized to promote it. So like we get the synergy of more people finding out about things. So I mean, this obviously can happen with authors. This obviously can happen with dancers. This obviously can happen with so many other media. So just want you guys to be thinking about this and thinking about how we can make as much as what we do and a public experience. It's my personal passion and belief that the more, especially being part of EDC, we prove that this is something that the town experiences as culture that's enriching to them. The more we're gonna, we're ambitiously doubling our budget this year. And it looks like we're gonna get it, $7,000 isn't a lot, but like maybe next year we wanna push for more, right? So we have to earn that by people knowing who we are. So that's my platform for that. And I just wanted to mention too, and I know all of you are going to cool exhibits all the time. I happened to be in New York last weekend, and I went to the Museum of Art and Design. And there's this Black artist who I can't believe I wasn't aware of her, Sonia Clark, who has this retrospective there. And one thing I really, really liked is that, yes, it's a museum that's very much sort of conventional, and their typical exhibits are like just stuff on the walls, but they had experiential aspects there for this exhibit. And this woman does a lot of performance stuff, et cetera. Like, for example, she talks about the Black experience, and she I forget, it was a significant place that she did this event where she had put dust all over the floor. And imprinted in the floor was like the Declaration of Independence, and she was scrubbing it down with a Confederate flag. And then like she had, as the experience though, so that's an example of her performance experience that she's presenting in video, which is you experience passively. But when you were a guest there were two things that you could actually do. One was called beaded prayers, and this is something I think we could, do or make it our own. You write on a piece of paper a prayer or an intention or something, sense of loss. And they had scraps of fabric, quilting type fabric, beads, and just a sewing circle. And people are talking and they're doing it. And then they had mounted on the wall all these beautiful, weird, cool things. And if you made two while you were there, you give one and then you get to take one home. And then the other thing that she had going on, which I also thought was just, metaphorically rich, was apparently the flag that the Confederate Army used to surrender was a dish towel, a white dish towel with red stripes. And she has on a loom in the exhibit space, a loom with a facilitator, and all visitors can make more of these flags. And and I think she calls it like the flag you should know, because she's, obviously, as a Black woman and et cetera, is very upset about and has done a lot of work in shredding Confederate flags, et cetera, and her art's very cool. But I thought that was also really neat. So like, again, as we are thinking about happenings, this is my segue into our next topic on our agenda, which is what are we gonna do for our June and October and December? I want things that can be, or I'm gonna push for it, and everybody here is gonna equal vote, but things that are an experience that are memorable in some way. I'll just launch with two things we've talked about. And I did talk a little bit to Simon because I was thinking music in some kind. And as you know, in addition to, all the fine art stuff at WA, he is a music guy. And his son works with is also a musician and works with Gramercy recording.
Right.
And that's now in Roxbury. And apparently one of the co-owners is a hip hop violinist. And I was saying, I love that idea of your poeming that he did at WA, which was starting with music, poets react, and then artists react to the poets. That seems like a pretty involved process that he does over an evening. What about we just have music and people responding with art? And some kind of accessible music like hip hop, violin or something that maybe could be it. I also suggested, we could do a drumming circle where people bring extra drums or people can participate. I don't care what it is, but I love the idea of somebody making something that they can share or take home or do it collectively. That's not just, face painting can be awesome and extraordinary, but everybody does that and they've experienced that before. And it's not a collective artwork where people are cross-pollinating and cross-participating. So that's my long monologue. I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but you guys are all super creative. So I'd love to hear what maybe you've been thinking about or.
Well, so to just piggyback on that, because we're talking, so the June block party is right around the corner, June 7th, so it's coming quick.
Yep.
And we had talked about, wanting to sponsor something. I will, because we're still in this year's budget, not next year's budget, I'll look to see what we have left. I think I did some rough calculations for our last meeting.
Well, and to that point, Simon said maybe they would donate the music and we would just have to come with the art supplies if people like that idea, for example. I don't think he's had a chance to reach out to them yet. But it doesn't even have to be that Gramercy person, it could be any musician.
Well, I think any contact, because we had talked about whether we hire somebody, however we do it, making it interactive or experience, so somebody can participate if possible. And again, because the concert's happening on the lawn, we don't want to interfere with that if it's music. So I'm thinking, the pantry
The
space.
pantry median, yeah.
And I do know one of the years for the block party, ASAP set up over there with sidewalk chalk. That whole place was closed off and we, they had, I think they did an outline, like we were coloring it, you had to decorate your space, but something like that, whether it's a mural or some sidewalk chalk in response to the music could be kind of cool. So I think if Simon, we have to hear back, if there's music, great.
Great,
If
but-
not, we could follow up I know, I think most of us here who've been here for a while know about John Marshall and his drumming circles. You might have some
A few
connections.
Music coach.
A few drumming circles, but
Yeah, that would, I mean, yeah, to bring something from the,
Were you, is
John's a
the,
legend,
is
right? Is that what
the,
we're talking about, John Marshall?
Yeah.
yeah, he is a legend.
He's-
And
Well,
it's so much fun.
that's what the Washington Montessori kids say. They're
Yeah,
like,
no.
John
There's
Marshall's a
nothing like
legend."
their class of John
They,
Marshall.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and I've
He's
seen him
great.
do workshops, just, like a one-off
Yeah.
too, like he'll just bring people in.
Yeah.
Was the Institute planning on participating in the community?
yes,
Yes,
Yes.
what were you guys gonna do? We don't wanna do the same thing.
I haven't even figured it out yet.
All right, well, okay, here we
Just
go.
putting it on the calendar is the first step.
I
Making sure you
mentioned it
know
to the
when.
staff that we were booked on the 8th. That's what I've done.
Yeah.
I think it's
Also
the
back
7th.
in-
I
So
think
that
it's
was
the
the
7th.
Friday
Yeah,
after.
okay.
So for that June, something experiential,
Yeah,
something.
and collective.
And collective.
Well, you guys did the big tent.
We've been
fellow.
doing the parachute situation
parachute,
for a number of years. We are talking about doing our alphabet activity, which we haven't done since so long ago. Since it was a Saturday morning event, was there ever a time that it was on Saturday mornings? I
Actually,
feel like
it
Not the
was
last
out
5
in the
years.
town hall,
Yeah.
community day, yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
10 to 2
Yeah.
kind of
it's
event.
right in front here. Yeah.
Mhm.
but we were, as of, 6 hours ago, we are planning to bring our step and repeat and let people do the alphabet workshop, creating letters with your bodies, particularly kids, but the tough part when we did it last time was the photos were terrible because there was no backdrop. It was just like people doing other stuff in the background, so you couldn't see stuff, so we're gonna see if we
You
can set
figured that
up,
out.
which is, I think so.
Well, and you guys,
But I wonder if there's, I mean, it is something that people would be able to photograph of their own kids or whatever is the idea and, but our dancers are actually in town too. That's
But that-
always the big thing. Whenever the town things come up, I'm like,
You were there 2 years ago, I remember, right?
we did parachutes and.
Yeah.
and
so are the
things.
dancers gonna do the alphabet with you?
Yeah, so they'll.
That's
great.
very
Okay.
cool. Oh
Um,
my gosh, there's gonna be so
so
much
they're all
fun
in.
stuff going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
They could do a WAC,
we would be delighted to do that.
Oh my gosh, and we'll have to get pictures.
you know, something like that.
Yes.
You know,
That's
I
good.
can-
You could do a Washington Arts Council kind of pose.
So we gotta do it in front of, you don't wanna do that in front of the Palobola.
No, no.
You wanna do that.
I know, color coordinated.
Color coordinate.
I've got
Yeah.
this unitard, and I've got that unitard, but I don't know about the green one in particular.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, no, he just got green ones. Do you know
The
that
reason I-
bare-chested men is like not allowed on stage anymore?
What?
In like,
Where?
what is the town?
read that.
Wilton, Connecticut. The men cannot be bare-chested.
Gotta be fair.
I'm cool with the fair version of it, but that is definitely not what's.
I was stretching.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Weird.
It's a
Yeah.
nipple gate.
Yeah. No, so now we have wrestling onesies.
Oh, geez.
I'm sure
Instead
they
of
love
the
that.
men being bare-chested.
Because you think the issue's gonna grow?
Yeah, Rhode Island won't allow them either next year. We
What?
have 3 cities, we did 5 school shows in March across the country, Baton Rouge, San Antonio, Des Moines. 3 of them didn't allow bare-chested men.
So they really don't do bare-chested women then?
They really, really don't.
They
Yeah.
really don't.
Wow, I wanna hear
Yeah,
more
that
about
was,
that.
but
We can go
Wilton,
offline for
Wilton,
that.
Connecticut was
What,
the
and
first.
what other public pools are men
How many
wearing?
minutes is this gonna be?
Doesn't
fun?
matter.
I know, right? I do the minutes, so. woo-hoo.
All right.
I abbreviate a lot.
Okay.
All right, so,
So the 2 o'clock party,
That's-
basically bottom line is we should have a deadline, because actually by the time we meet next, we should
we
have.
should have some ideas,
Yeah.
so hopefully,
Yeah.
well, you keep checking in with Simon on the
Yeah.
music part, I'll make sure I'll look to see what we have in our budget. Because if the music doesn't come through, then I think we completely pivot and think about
drumming circle.
drumming or something. if
Or better
you're not
ideas.
doing that.
better
Or
ideas.
other ideas, yeah,
We are at, just so you know, 8:07.
okay,
So,
moving,
the calendar card. One thing that I went to the Torrington, like regional area about how culture impacts the economy. And one of the biggest things that we're always talking about is like how to get the word out. And I always try to think about like, okay, who are the great disseminators? And to my experience, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm friends with a bunch of realtors and I'm always getting these blasts about cultural things going on, et cetera. So I thought it might be fun, when our calendar card is usually ready, it's usually ready anticipating, or maybe it's coordinated with our, Memorial Day weekend, event, that we invite realtors to come. Maybe it should be something else, but with our card being printed, maybe it's here, maybe some brief little reception of some kind to talk about the events coming up this summer and to get them excited about it, because they're blabbing to people, that's our high season, spring through summer through fall. And, that was the thought.
Good thought.
Yeah, so the event postcard, I was emailing with Julia just today, we're gonna do another one. It's a huge hit and we mail it to everybody in town, but we also bring outside of town to wherever we can. I love the idea of somehow getting in front of the realtors. So, thinking about,
Just inviting every office, like
How do
within
we-
15 minutes of here, like the Kent offices, the Washington offices, obviously, and New Preston and all that, like getting them to come here and know what's going on.
yeah, so do we invite them? Do we do a coffee and muffin little
Maybe we do it at
presentation, or do
Law,
we,
it
do we
here?
go, I don't know, I almost feel like we
Do
go
it
to
at
them.
at one of our already scheduled events, so.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, we'll have the cards in time for the, event,
The
but
24th,
except
yeah.
we're asking people to buy a book and we want it to be,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think.
I think it should be something
I think
separate.
that counts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, we
And
may or
it's
may
a-
not
and
have
it
it
is
in
the-
time.
And it is a busy weekend, so that, I
Yeah,
think, yeah, we're.
It's
Well,
hopefully gonna
the
be
block
going
party?
into the mailboxes, that it'll just be hot off the presses if it's ready for the 24th.
Right, so I'm thinking probably like a Wednesday night is kind of good, or a Thursday night.
They could come to our Arts Council meeting.
I just don't,
It's not enough of an attraction.
I mean, I.
Well, the Arts Council meetings, like a lot of people can speak to the exact events. They can actually shake hands with people from
And
Palobolis
how
and
many-
Connecticut Theater Exchange.
Right, and no, I mean, how many people like or how many real estate agencies are we talking?
I mean, like, we got three big ones in town. I
Right.
mean, we have Ravis, we have Clem, and we have, Sotheby's.
Yeah.
And they also have ancillary offices in nearby towns. So, I mean,
I think, I would love to get in front of the realtor. People talk about that in town all the time, because it's the real, wish they knew this, or wish they. Let's maybe each talk to a realtor, like we'll reach out to
And what they would
Karen,
go to?
yeah, because. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical of getting them here for a.
maybe we get them to the pantry.
Maybe, I kind of almost feel like to a morning thing might,
Mm.
versus,
Yeah.
like
So WA.
a 9
Yeah,
AM
a law thing.
kind of
I think that's a good
Maybe.
idea. 'Cause he's a
possibly.
council member. It's good.
And we'd have to think about what exactly we're sharing with them besides just handing them the postcards. And some of them do pick up, especially the ones that do summer rentals, they get a stack from me. Cause I always print a few hundred extra and they'll pick up a stack to hand to the people who come and rent for like the month of June or whatever. So,
Well, I mean, I think that we should say that, as many of us who can make it, who have events this summer, which is pretty much everybody here, will speak for a few minutes about them and you can talk to them about them. And I mean, I think that's a kind of nice thing.
maybe it is. I think so. I hope they would think so.
We'll
Is the
talk to
card
realtors.
already
Julie
being
King
designed,
would
or
be a
is
good
it,
person to get
you're
feedback
still
from.
trying to figure out what's going on?
Julie
It's
King
that
is.
card that you always have, right?
Yeah.
Just getting
Yeah.
dates, getting the
Yeah.
link of it.
We just
and-
got it.
I'm always
She runs
shocked
the
it
office?
appears and it has all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly, right.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
Basic.
So we're getting started on it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when is your event? When, not the,
June
the gala?
22.
June.
No, yes, the gala.
Yeah, 22nd, yeah, we
Yeah.
just,
You
The
just
last
make
It's the
sure
end
that-
of your week.
yeah,
Right.
our second week.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not on my, oh, yep.
Okay,
Is it? It
It's
is.
on the.
we got
Judy
3
Black
minutes,
calendar,
we
not
got
my
3 minutes,
personal.
so
Gotta add it.
I've got it in my calendar.
we're all gonna talk to realtors
Yep.
and, see what they would actually wanna come to and what day of the week and what time they would like. I do like this idea of a mid-morning something, I think that's a
I
good.
think, before they go out showing stuff, they do client dinners, they just,
Well,
their
Karen,
days are
I'll
different,
check
yeah.
on Karen and see what she
They work
thinks.
on a
Julie
different, thing.
King, Karen.
Yeah, I'll talk to Phyllis.
And then just, I mean, I think I brought up with most of you, I've been hearing from different people in town, like, oh, there's like no foot traffic, especially on weekends, because, like Sotheby's and Barbara Huya's place are anchors that used to be, used to be the apothecary, used to be, I don't know, can't remember what Sotheby's used to be, but they are beautiful spaces that are basically dead on weekends. So, I think you're gonna have whenever you have a chance, you're gonna talk to Barbara and see if she might be open
Yeah,
to.
she's gonna be on the road for the next 2 weeks, but I'll talk
Or
to her.
whatever, by next month. I was thinking like, okay, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4, 10 to 5. We have a rotating bunch of different artisans who do pop-up shops. So that they'll be open, we have a sandwich board out, and say like co-sponsored by WAC. And that would, and hopefully pick people that don't have. That are selling something that's not already in town, whether it's. I mean, I know that Hen's Nest is a broad range of things, but like, amazing jewelry or amazing pottery, and it could be complementary and create more foot traffic for everybody. Cause like, as you probably know, there are art districts and restaurant districts, et cetera, and they cross pollinate. So I would want it to support, Hickory Stick, Hen's Nest, by having more people walking around and seeing the things that are happening. What do you think of that?
Your premise is that there aren't a lot of people in town on weekends, is
That
that?
are walking in to the stores, like they're not thinking that there's places to shop.
The weekends are the busiest days of the week. I mean, and you do have the farmer's market too, which,
So it's what, May 15th or something?
middle of May, I
middle of
think,
May.
yeah.
Well, maybe it's just winter weekends, but I particularly was having a conversation with Electa at Depot Dog. She's
right,
like,
no, she,
no-
I mean, right.
nobody
right,
else
I
is
mean,
here.
Yeah, no,
Especially Sundays.
the winter is,
Quiet.
I mean.
So maybe we only do it in the fall or whatever, but I thought it could be something that could.
Fall's also very busy. I mean,
Okay.
once you hit the end of May, through Christmas, I mean,
Oh,
So that's for Christmas.
probably these 3.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
no-
November,
first quarter,
it's November
January,
through
February,
April,
March,
that's slow,
Q1.
right?
no.
It's
No,
No, you go
Go
through
out,
Christmas
right.
And Christmas.
and I mean, November, December are high season.
Mhm.
I mean, it's January to April
Mhm.
that is the dead time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, January, February, March. Well, and if we're not if there's not enough going on for people to come for our regulars with a pop-up. Like, I don't know that they would be success. We're so dead. Like, they might not wanna come.
It would have to be intriguing enough to draw people
Yeah,
in from
yeah.
town.
Yeah,
And I also wonder about the possibility of having pop-up within businesses that already exist. That would bring, I mean, just as an ancillary thing.
I like the idea from my perspective. I mean, my biggest problem is we should have been built Route 84. The number of contacts we get, how long is it? We get a phone call, we're driving down 84, want to stop, how far off the road are we?
Around the corner and up
I say
the
25
back, that
minutes,
is
it's a lie.
It's 20 minutes.
But it's like just close enough.
just
Maybe
far
it
enough.
doesn't get lost that it took you
Yeah.
more than.
Took the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Try this one going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kathy does it sometimes, at
Well, Jay
KMR.
McLaughlin has, I mean, they had done some
On their
pop-ups. I
tent
know
sale.
Ellen has brought stuff over, Hen's Nest has brought stuff over to Jay McLaughlin. And Jay McLaughlin has also done the shop and sip
Mhm.
with organizations.
Mhm.
And I know Kathy's at like trunk shows. She'll have
Yes.
somebody come in with
Right,
their
exactly.
jewelry and
I mean,
clothing
can
for a
that all,
weekend.
could that happen on that June block party time?
That's already got.
Right, too much.
It's got a
going
lot,
on.
it's got a
It's
lot,
got
a
a
lot
lot.
of
Okay,
circuses.
I didn't know if that was-
And it does
Right.
happen. People
Yeah,
come
Sotheby's
in.
has their little
Right, and
bazaar.
everybody kind of does it already.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
No, I
And then
thought so.
Victoria's trying to see, how can we help those businesses during the quiet months, and that's the challenge, don't really know.
It's been 50 years trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
I mean,
also,
I could
it's just,
see-
you know, we have some of these front facing
Here.
places that are businesses that are closed on the weekend, like Barbara or.
I mean, it would certainly be worth talking to Barbara, talking to them to see what the possibilities are. Is it even an option?
Right, yeah, I'm not sure she would be up for that truthfully,
Yeah.
but she might. But you never know.
It would be them to be open, they would have to open up their business.
Right.
Well, at least just their conference room to the front, it looks like they could, I mean, I know her office is right, anyway, we'll see. We'll see what she
Yes,
says.
no, I
Yeah.
mean, it's certainly worth exploring.
And that's. Oh, we got,
Yeah,
right?
We sure have been.
We already talked about it.
I know, and I put dot, there were others, let's see what I brought, we already
The
talked
WA
about the
exhibit.
film, the WA opening. Okay, April 20th. Yeah, lots of events.
Violet Main is April 21st as well now.
First at 5 and then
I
20.
know, see, look, I even put
A lot
20 in.
going on.
Whoa.
I know,
I had a flyer and I don't know where it is, but
It's okay.
yeah,
It's a Monday.
It's a Sunday.
it's a Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, my annual meeting.
Good stuff.
I thought that was Sunday.
So we motion to.
Well, I was looking at.
Sure, right? Do we need a vote? Yeah, motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
April. so I'm gonna say myself.
Awesome.
I'll be on that seconded.
I second.
Fantastic.
Nice.
And we're off.
Um,
And yes, let's see.